Sports nerds, happy Friday and welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am 1/5 of your host here on the program. I'm Andrew Faber. To my left or to your right, depending on what side of the screen you're watching on or how the hell the screen is posted to you, I got my Arizona Cardinal analyst, the host of Terribly Toxic, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Chris Warchuk. How we doing tonight, my guy? Okay, I think he is gone. The silence that's okay. We'll have to figure that one out in a second.
He's had a lot of stuff going on today, so I think he's
I'm all blurry here and stuff like that. Chris is like not even muted or anything either. He just like stepped away, which is fine. And of course, we got our guest here tonight, the man himself from. Hold on, let me do this properly. I had it pulled up here from Let's Talk Football. One half creator, producer, co-host of everything on the. I can name the shows off, but we'd be here for half the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Sean Spencer. How the hell are we doing today?
We are good. It is Friday night. Actually, my fiance, Kat, shout out to her. She went out to Chicago, so I am at work. Hanging out, but other than that, I got a bachelor weekend, so it's going to be sweatpants, not necessarily required. Maybe I'll just go with boxers, just chill around the house.
Nobody knows
wherever it is. Exactly.
Yeah,
as long as it's clean by the time she gets back, we're good.
Yep. Happy wife, happy life. That's the way
there
it
you
goes.
Go. Yes, sir.
Speaking of happy life, hey, there he is.
I had my headset on the whole time. You guys are like, shit.
No, we're going to be talking to Sean about his Commanders here in a little bit, talking about everything that's going on to new ownership, possibly. Is it new ownership? Eric Bieniemy's in the house. Are you drafting a quarterback? You also signed the PAYNE, Darren Payne, coming back for a few more years, solidifying that defense. We will also talk to Chris, since we got him here, about the recent news that is literally breaking today. About the Buda Baker trade request. We'll get his thoughts on that, which will be very quick because he doesn't want to talk about it. And then we are going to be getting
I almost took that flag down.
Oh, no.
I almost took the flag down.
What? Listen, if you have faith in your Cardinals, I'll try and have faith in my Buccaneers.
I don't.
No, exactly. So we can get together on this. Fuck what Alex says about both of our teams, giving us false hopes just for his Lions to come out supreme.
No.
Yep. Yeah. We're also going to be having, after all that, Dynasty Corner with your new host of the Dynasty thing here. Dr. Dynasty will be in the house. I don't know how well this is going to go. This is a little difficult, a little different for people and different for me to allow someone like this into my house while my children are trying to sleep and my wife is trying to do just, general things. They've been sitting there waiting patiently with some sort of substance around them. We don't need to get into that. So we'll talk about that later on in Dynasty Corner. We also will be going over the NSD Stand By It, which is an overview of this brand new segment that we're going to have here at NSD, which is literally punishments for anybody who wants to talk stupid. So inevitably, I'm going to be, the one that's going to be punished. And then Chris will get a couple of punishments. Alex will get his. Kyle will get his. And Sid inevitably will get his as well. So this is also an open platform for anybody else on any other show that wants to join. So if Sean Spencer wants to call anybody else out, he can. We are done tonight. We will also get into the bullshit corner, which we're going to open it up to the StreamYard link for some other people to join in if they would like at the end of the show. And talk about whatever the heck they want, because that's what we do here at NSD. That's how this thing grows organically. Speaking of organics, we are sponsored by ZAGNIF Apparel. That is the worst transition I've ever done. I don't personally care. We have apparel. Every time Chris is on the screen, I really hate putting this on because this is technically supposed to be hands. And it barely even fits me. There we go. Oh man, I got the cord in there all wrapped up too. This is gonna be bad. Anyway, ZAGNIF Apparel, right there, established 2021. ZAGNIF Apparel, ladies and gentlemen, use the code word boobs15. The link that I will throw into the comment section, which I always forget to do right off the bat. Copy and then right there. There we go. There y'all can get the link. Now, ZAGNIF Apparel's got this. He's got a shirt. There's one over here that's the Kyle's box that I have to get. And his t-shirt. There's women apparel. There's hats. There's shoes. Mm-hmm. Nice. I saw there was a creamsicle one apparently before. I'm not happy about it, but that's okay. It'll be inevitably the year of creamsicle. And what I mean by that is there'll be creamsicle gear out there as an evidence. Oh, yeah. I mean that it'll be victorious. So, ZAGNIF Apparel, my guy, got us covered. Look at this stuff. Look at this quality. A nice rain jacket. Nice rain jacket. Every other apparel. The shirt is really nice. ZAGNIF Apparel. Get into that store. Buy some of that stuff. Use the code. Save yourself some cash. And again, the apparel, the stuff, it's good on your body. I haven't tried the shirt. I'm feeling it. It's nice. It feels good on your body. Isn't that how you're supposed to sell shirts? Speaking of selling shirts, I inevitably ripped my NSD shirt. Yeah, look at these. These fucking guns could not be handled in a large shirt, so they popped out. But you can still get yours with the little sleeves. All you have to do is get to one of the guys. We got NSD shirts. North Dynasty. And then on the back, we got all the shows. I can do it properly. I can't do it properly.
You had it. There you go.
Hey.
Oh, nice. I like that. There you go.
All the shows on the back. If you would like a shirt, Sean doesn't need to buy a shirt because he's got one coming on the way.
Yes.
But if everybody else would like to buy a shirt, all you have to do is get to the NSD peeps, ask for the shirt you got, what size they got, and we will find one for you. If we don't have the size for you, we will order it for you. We'll get it to you and all that other fun stuff. Also, ZAGNIF Apparel. We got lots of clothing lines here. All right, let's get right into it. Let's see. The comment section is bumping. We got a Heldo right off the bat. I don't know who that is. You can click the thing on Facebook that says, pops your name up and stuff like that. Misador says, what is up, gentlemen? Misador, thank you for tuning in. Whatever. That company? I know that company. Who is you, though? Owner's a butthead.
That's got to be Anthony.
That's got to be Anthony. Or it's got to be somebody that knows Anthony. So, we have a guest here tonight. Mr. Sean Spencer. Man, the myth, the legend from Let's Talk Football. But at the end of the day, this man is a Washington Red Comet, whatever they're about to be called.
What's the new name?
Yeah, what's the new?
Magic. That's what it is. It's magic.
Yeah.
Washington Magic?
Come on now.
Ooh.
I think Magic's trademarked already.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well,
Yeah,
Magic Johnson, he'll
Orlando.
bring it in. He could bring something in. I'm just excited.
Ooh,
I'm just
wait,
excited.
Magic, if he's the owner, hey, there you go. So let's talk about that quick. The ownership group of Magic and the other one, I lost it on my note there.
Josh Harris, yeah.
Josh Harrison. These gentlemen are all apparently the leading group to buy the Washington Commanders for an estimated $6 billion. So tell me, Sean, let's just start off with that. Tell us your feelings about that purchase if it is going through. Are you happy about this? You happy Magic and company are in house?
If it goes through. One thing that I've learned as a Washington Redskin football team Commanders fan is that since 1999, when this despicable man came and became our owner, since then, you just can't, you don't hold your breath. It's just something else is going to happen. The storm clouds are still there. And a lot of times, when there's a storm, the worst part of it is at that very end. So we already know, it's all the preliminary, the bid was put out there and the preliminary agreement was made and everything. But I just need to see the papers get signed and everything. I'm excited. Yes, I'm excited. We're right at the end. This is potentially a perfect situation, but he's still there and he's spiteful and he's not going to, I don't feel like he's going to go away quietly. So I am cautiously optimistic, but I mean, of course, if this is happening, oh my goodness, Christmas right now, let's go. But I just keep reading reports and seeing that stuff that says the preliminary, agreement was made and the bid is out there. And Bezos, he's no longer in consideration. But it's like, okay, just tell me he's gone. I just need to know he's gone. That's it. Just let me key card revoked. Everything's done. He's out of there. That's all I need.
So this is a good transition then. And this is just personally a question that I will always throw up when I get the opportunity. Because with what you've said there too, is it's not signed, it's not official yet. It's the preliminaries and anything can happen. And one of those things that could possibly happen is Steve Apostolopoulos, a billionaire from Canada, has joined the group of potential bidders to purchase the Commanders. And now I ask you this, and this is just a complete hypothetical. If Steve Apostolopoulos were to buy the team, and part of that agreement was in, say, a few years, there is an established agreement that the Commanders could be moved north of the border, would that be something that you put your foot down, or are you just like, what are you asking me here, Mr. Canadian?
So one of the big things about getting the new ownership group is that, and getting Dan Snyder out, is that we need a new stadium. Anybody that knows, anybody's ever been, FedEx is a dump. RFK, although it's beloved by Washington fans, that was a dump. You know what I mean?
Wasn't that where the handrail almost killed Jalen Hurts?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
I was making sure I got that.
That may or may not have been planned. We might have been trying to help the division, but I don't know. I cannot confirm or deny. It almost worked too. We would have got away with it too. Right? Honestly, I would love it. The only thing I wouldn't love is it's not right around the corner and it's not going to be the Washington. You know what I mean? But I mean, let's be honest. Montreal Expos, they begot the Washington Nationals. I mean, it would be a turnabout. I understand it. I don't want to see my guys leave, but I see.
And see, it's just a random one that I knew it was like the second I can transition it into a question today, I'm going to, just because he's Canadian. And I've always joked, even in this article I wrote up many years ago when NSD first started, he was the name. I was like, if there's going to be any Canadian, it'd be him, because I think Ryan Reynolds would go into hockey, which he did. And I think any other Canadian like Rogers or any entity and stuff like that would just be like, we're comfortable with the stadiums that we have right now. Oh, yeah. But
get his name in that conversation is huge, because if you look at Josh Harris, he was also in the conversation about Denver, a year or so ago. You know what I mean? And so his name was still lingering out there. So your boy, he might get something, man. I want a team. I want a team up in Canada somewhere, man. I would love to go visit a game out there.
Oh, clip that. See if we can clip that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, listen, NSD is all for it, LTF is all for it. Like, let's go. We need this. I've always dreamed. I've already told my fiance. I'm like, listen, if it happens, we're moving. I don't care what you can dog groom in Toronto. You'll be the biggest dog groomer in Toronto at that point. Sorry, honey, that's just the way it is. I'm taking your whole family with me. I don't care. We're going to join the football league there. Now you're talking about your stadium with new ownership. Obviously, you're talking a new stadium because of the dump of what FedEx is. And your words, not mine.
Yep.
What other fans have said, not mine either.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that ownership would maybe make it more the people, I guess you would say, that got to pay for it, like the 50-50 or 40-40, and then the 20 that comes from, say the government or whatever the heck it is? Do you just think it's something viable with the price tag? Like, is it like $6 billion that comes with financial help for a stadium? Or do you think like this ownership, when they buy the team, this is your stadium for a little bit until we have more money? Because $6 billion is not cheap. So do you think you get a new stadium right away with new ownership, or do you think it takes a little bit?
So yeah, I think we have FedEx until like 2026. I think we're good in there until that. First and foremost, we're going to be, people are going to be coming to the table, and the reason being is because Dan Snyder will be out. That was the first big issue about. I mean, even before we can talk about getting a new stadium, people weren't even coming to, like, the DC, Virginia. They weren't even coming to the table to talk to him because it's just a bad look. A lot of the stuff was so flamboyant, wide out and open, where everybody's just like, this dude is a bad dude in general. So they weren't doing business with him. Now that you have a reputable source, and obviously Magic in there being a part owner, I mean, he's well known. Everybody knows him, and they like his. So I think we're going to be able to get to the table to do that. As far as who's paying for it, all that, I don't know who will be able to do that. And right now, the question is more than who's paying. Where's it going to be? I mean, they kind of want us in DC, and they still own that land at RFK, Robert F. Kennedy. But that's, that was only 55,000 seat stadium. FedEx and Maryland and all them, they enjoy that tie, and they can still destroy that place and rebuild and that whole thing. But then they bought land in Virginia too. So me personally, I live in Virginia. I don't want it in Virginia because the traffic is atrocious in Maryland and in DC going in. I don't need that in my backyard on the day when I got to go to work. And it's now I got to start resenting my team because they're right. Because the place that their headquarters in Ashburn is literally like, all I got to do is take this local highway like 5-10 minutes up the road. Like it's right around the corner from us. But the stadium and all that stuff's in there. So I like it being far away. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're going to get a new stadium. Hopefully that will be the attraction. Maybe we can get a Super Bowl to come, at Washington, but we're not going to get it with what we have. I mean, we're the daggone nation's capital, man. It's about time we get some respect. You know what I mean?
And you guys have been around for a long time. Just like the Kansas City Chiefs have been a team that's been around for a long time, a fan base that's been hungry, waiting just for the dominance. And then when it happens, and inevitably the torch is passed from the Patriots to the Chiefs, is like, the dominant team in the league right now. So 100%, you guys, I respect it because you want it, you're hungry for it. And you've had to deal with the Commander's name and the football, name and stuff. But now you got Bieniemy.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you've took the Kansas City Chiefs, offensive coordinator and apparent genius to be your offensive coordinator. Tell us how you feel about that a little bit. Are you happy with Eric Bieniemy? Do you think he's going to help Riverboat Ron here? What are your expectations of Eric Bieniemy?
I'm happy for the potential, man. Obviously you hear such great things about him in Kansas City, and everybody wants to say he didn't call plays, but he was right there with Andy Reid. He was right there with the players, and there was situations that he sat there and helped orchestrate. And that we look at in the game, we're like, oh man, that was so smart. This how he did that, and that he had his hands on all of that. I mean, we see what Patrick Mahomes said. But still, this is his first shot here. We've all known that, all the last 4 or 5 years, he's been up for a coaching position and never gotten it. And, then the questions start coming out. Is it him? And we've seen Belichick's, assistants and how they always seem to come running back. They're not the same without him. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I like the potential because Rivera's on the hot seat, as we know. This is year 4 for him. I mean, each year has been a struggle, albeit the one year we made, won the division. I mean, everybody was trashed that year. So, for him, it's new ownership, a new OC in here. You got to get it together because honestly, the writing on the wall, and they were asking this to Bieniemy at his opening press conference. They were saying, are you thinking about potentially becoming the new head coach of Washington? And he's like, I'm just trying to come here and meet the guys and get, he said all the right things. But if Rivera's on the way out, I mean, that would be a sweet little, upgrade. Hey, just give him a promotion. Put him right in that spot. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but you start thinking
No, finish your thought.
I was going to say you start seeing that we're not – every year we've been the all-season studs, all-season All-Americans because we make all these big moves. But we're not going for the 1 year thing. Like even the last 2 years with Fitzpatrick and then Carson Wentz. We're trying to build for the future. That's what I'm excited about. Sam Howell is young, is fresh. I have my personal, feelings about him, obviously, because being from North Carolina. But still, I mean, if this works out with the kind of the team that we have, I mean, it's only up. You know what I mean? Getting the old regime out with Dan Snyder, the new culture in here. I mean, it's easy to be optimistic, but as a Washington fan, it's still I'll believe it when I see it.
Does it concern you at all that Bieniemy has been passed up so many times for head coaching job?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Because and it concerns me when you hear, Shady McCoy and some of those guys come out and
shit on him.
Right. They're not
shit on him.
Completely. And so I mean, look, at the end of the day, we've got great guys and coaches and all that stuff to come to Washington and it's fallen flat. You know what I mean? And we, for a long time, we've been able to say, oh, well, it's the owner. The owner is the reason why. So now that he's potentially not there, what's going to be the next excuse? Or is this truly the change that we're looking for? So I'm excited because of the fact that Eric Bieniemy is coming in here getting his first shot. You got Sam Howell that's technically getting his first full season, his shot. And then at the end of the day, even if that doesn't work, Jacoby Brissett is a solid backup. He showed us in Cleveland he could come in there and at least keep them afloat and actually look decent. So, I just feel like we're making moves to the future as opposed to trying to do let's get it right now, get this, let's be one and done, and everything blow up in our face.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could hear Chris saying too. I like Jacoby Brissett.
I wanted Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I wanted him over Baker Mayfield.
The Cardinals passed on Eric Bieniemy, and we obviously would hire a fucking ham sandwich to run the story.
I was gonna transition with that talk into the whole Sam Howell talk here for a little bit. Is obviously every time you come on here, I just talk about the stars aligning for a fan of a team and a dude being like, man, I just wish there's some way somehow that he would get to my team. Then he gets to your team.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it was like, listen, I understand that he may not be a starter right now. It's a bit of a project and we got to wait a little bit, but it'd be cool if he eventually gets his time. Right now it looks like he's getting his time.
Yeah.
But there's obviously this talk that the Washington Commanders are actually in a very good position in this draft if they wanted to trade up for either a fallen quarterback or actually have a couple of players
Arizona
that they could utilize in a trade package.
I had Washington trading with Arizona.
You did, yep.
What was the compensation?
That was mock draft 2.
So we got you guys obviously got pick 3. We got whatever 16. Your pick is this year, 16. 16. We got your second round pick this year, and a first next year. Was that it? No, there was. And I think a third. You had a couple other ones.
A random
third.
just to make it
work.
work.
Who we'd get? Because even still, I don't think we'd get a quarterback. And it's not because Sam Howell is the future. I mean, look, every pundit, every talk show, they're all saying, Washington still doesn't have a quarterback. I just like the fact that, like you said, my guy, I was there in New Orleans, got to see it live. I shit a brick, basically. I was just super excited. I was like, are you serious? As you see, I never get jerseys of players. I have 2 jerseys of the NFL. It's Barry Sanders college jersey and Doug Williams, because that's my favorite. So, my favorite quarterback that I watched him from the moment he got recruited to North Carolina all the way through, and then to come to my team, it's amazing. Realistically, I see this guy being, unless things work out here, career backup. Like, I see him, he's got ability. He can get it done. He has moxie, he has balls for sure. But let's be honest. Like, he's not as big as all other quarterbacks. He's quick to run from time to time. And even in that last game against Dallas, and they weren't really playing, they weren't really showing up. But he threw some balls that it was like, dude, that guy was triple covered. What are you seeing? You know what I mean? You can't just chuck it up there. This is an ACC in North Carolina. So, honestly, and new coordinator, coach that's on his way out. There's an urgency. Things have to mesh and work in the perfect way. And I right now, like, I see us like 8-9, 9-8 type thing. And I think he struggles. I think he does. But Bieniemy, that's the other thing, man. Because if he comes in here and he's like, yeah, I got this. Like, y'all need to buckle up and get it. And they're like, dude, we've been here before, bro. Like, don't come in here and change it. You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna have the respect that we all have of, like, this is the guy, or is it gonna be friction? We don't know, but I'm excited.
So what? So okay, if for example you guys did trade up, and you knew, like, if you traded up to 3 kind of thing, it's, like, okay, a quarterback, and just say hypothetically, the Texans do shock the world and they don't take a quarterback at number 2 and they go with, say, Will Anderson or something like that. And now all of a sudden Arizona's trade packages that they had with other teams is now you're going to have to add 2 more thirds and possibly a rotational player here in a second. But if you did trade up, what quarterback would you want? Like, which quarterback out of the draft do you think would actually fit the scheme that Bieniemy would bring, or fit the mold of what the Commanders are?
So I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to also say what I would have done if I would have done that is, if I got the 3rd pick, somebody else is looking for that pick. So I'm trading back to see what else I can get, to see if I can get picks in the 1st round. And then, because I got picks at the O-line. If I'm going for quarterback, and you already said Will Anderson got picked first, so it's going to be either Stride or CJ Stroud or Bryce Young.
So Bryce Young would be first to Carolina, and then Houston just takes Will Anderson. Yeah.
Look, you can't. I just don't think you go wrong with Stroud. Personally, it would totally stun. See, so normal. I'll put it this way: normal Washington, easy. We're going for Stroud, no question. And sorry for your luck, Sam Howell. Yeah. Now with the transition, I would like to believe that we would maybe potentially get one of the top tier defensive players, or even get one of these top linemen and, a tackle to protect, to be the solid guy. I mean, we once had Trent Williams, you know what I mean? So we've been longing to replace that. So maybe we do that. But realistically, we would probably get a quarterback.
Yeah, I listen, I kind of agree with you on the whole CJ Stroud thing. I think every other team is starting to do that now too. It's just like, all right, so are you sold with CJ Stroud? It's like, yeah, sure. Like, cool. It's like, oh, okay. So something's there, maybe that we're not seeing. Last question from me, and then I'm going to open it up to Chris, as if he's got a couple more here. I know he's got his dog, and she's being she came over for nails the other day, and she's just a big suck, and I love her. We got, like, or you guys got, the defensive line we've talked about for a while here, ever since I met you, where I'm like, listen, what everybody else says, the Commanders' defensive line is a dog show. Like, they got dogs. Yeah. And one of your guys has just got paid, and Darren Payne, he got paid the big bucks. And the reason why I brought it up is one of the things I wanted to ask you is because you look at the Buccaneers with Vita Vea. You look at now the Tennessee Titans with Jeffrey Simmons, where they've solidified that position before some of the bigger names like Quentin Williams and all the other guys that are out there who are about to get their money, right? And break the market, you're going to get him at a nice cheap deal. So you technically got him at a respectable deal before defensive tackle starts making $27 million a year.
And
how happy are you that he's there, buddy?
Well, that was key. I mean, that was key that we got him, and not only we got him, but we got him early. Like, we tagged him. I think we were like the first team to tag any player in the offseason. Like, we tagged him right away. And then we signed the extension right away. Like, we got that stuff knocked out right away. And it's because of what you said. Look, we had to deal with that situation with Brandon Sheriff. You know what I mean? The franchise tagged him, and all of a sudden, then he's wanting, upwards to 17, 18 mil, and he's getting hurt every once in a while, but he's still an amazing guard, and Jacksonville was able to pick him up.
Yeah.
In this situation, I'm glad we took care of it immediately, and we did it with Jonathan Allen last year. Now Daron Payne, and now we come to a situation where we have Montez Sweat coming up, and then Chase Young was, about to be on his 5th-year option, I think in a year or two. You know what I mean? So, I mean, let's start getting these guys paid, because we've seen what happened with San Francisco. How you got Bosa, Warner, you got those guys. They built up that D-line. You've seen what happens with these teams that build up that D-line. You get pressure on the quarterback now, especially with all these mobile quarterbacks. If you're able to get it just with those front four, it could help the backs of the linebackers and the corners, where we really need to focus on,
Yeah, and see, it's funny because and Chris know this too well, that with Kyle, Alex, and Sid, we've done, many mock drafts here at NSD. And when it gets to number 16, we don't we all think of you, but then we all know that you need a cornerback. And we know that if Joey Porter Jr.'s name is there, it just makes sense. But we all kind of want Joey Porter to go to Sid's team in a way.
Right.
Like, deep down, I don't. You know what I mean? Me and Chris and Ali were like,
I just don't want to hear about it during the month.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear. You're wrong. I'm like, okay, I'm wrong.
Right.
Anyway, continue.
But deep down, we all love the guy, so it'd be kind of cool if the family stays in and stuff like that. So yeah,
just like Pickett last year.
Oh man. It's more like, listen, the Najee one gets me every time, because I from mock draft 1 to mock draft 2 to mock draft 3, all the way to the final one I put in, I was like, Najee's going to the fucking Steelers. Yep. I don't care if they trade back. I don't care if they trade up. Najee's going to the Steelers. And and even eventually Alex was like, all right, fine, I'm getting on this hype train too. And I'm like, yes. Even though it cost me, he beat me that year because he copied me. Anyway. Chris, you got anything else for Sean tonight?
How'd you get your owner out? Because I want one. I want to get mine out.
Right. Man, look, you
like
see
how
it,
to fire owner.
We call him Teflon Dan out here, man, because we had the federal government coming after him. We had allegations in-house.
We took the first step. We got Pat McAfee after him.
Yeah.
So we got the first step. We got the first step. Pat McAfee's after him. He's on now.
Yeah, you got the Washington Post there and stuff too.
Once we got them on him, then it was good. Then government and all that stuff got involved, and it's like, okay, he should be gone, right? Nope, he's still not out. So if he has it all depends on what he has, because apparently he still has the smoking gun. He still has information on all the owners. We don't know what's going to. He's going to have a tell-all book when he moves to Europe after he gets.
Yeah, he's gonna do the RG3 thing. He's gonna go on Twitter and be like, "You what? I'm gonna write a fucking book. Fuck all you guys. You gonna come after me? I'll come after all you."
Apparently, RG3 tried to join the investment group.
Oh.
I'm like, what kind of money do you have? Come on, man.
That ESPN money, even for 1 or 2 years, hey man, they can rack up some bonuses.
He's done well too. He's done well on ESPN.
I know, he's.
I like him on Twitter games.
He's a smart guy. Just was never smart enough to slide instead of taking a gigantic hit.
Also, at the same time too, when he did slide, it did kind of lead to that injury. And then he had the brace, and then he slid with the brace, and then the brace got caught.
There was so much more going on with that. That was Dan wanted to give the farm for him. The Shanahans who were there, on staff weren't really on board with that. It was just so much turmoil. It was daggone, man. Then once he got hurt, it was But we loved them.
That's right. It was the Shanahan group. And now my brain finally has put 2 and 2 together. They drafted
Kurt.
Wait, no.
Kurt, yeah.
Yeah, they drafted Kurt.
In the 4th round.
In the 4th round.
Dude, at one point the Commanders had like what would be right now like the most elite coaching staff in the NFL.
Yep.
Like they had like Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay.
I was just gonna say McVay.
Who's the third one?
LaFleur.
LaFleur, yeah, that's it. LaFleur, like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Wasn't the Vikings now head coach on there too? McConnell or whatever the heck his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on there.
They literally had a coaching staff that would have been like in today's NFL would be like an unbelievable coaching staff.
Yeah.
And just pissed it away.
Some comments I wanted to get to from tonight too. $6 billion. Wow. I have an apparel company that can buy, and I'll ask for 500 milli, cheaper bargain. There you go. You can, if you listen. Can we get your apparel company to do the new NHL jerseys? Because don't the Fanatics ones. This is just gonna ruin it. What's up, Misador? Commanders fans took off work today like it was Christmas to go party in the streets. It has to be signed, though. It has to be signed.
Yeah, exactly.
Anthony Handy was just confirming that it was just you commenting. Steve Astalop, Snuffleupagus.
Yo, I hope Magic's first move is to fix that fucking statue.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say was coming up here, right? Where was
just
it?
That whole thing alone should have
that whole statue they should just cover that up and be like, just kidding.
Right? Why would you?
Like,
why?
This is horrible. It's horrible, bro.
It was so awful.
Like they announced it a year in advance and then waited till the night before to build it.
It was so bad.
It was a cover up. We all know it was just a cover up.
Yeah,
it was another thing that had to come out that day about Dan Snyder. So
our new uniforms,
right? Exactly. See, first thing about getting the owner out is seeing the warning signs. All right.
Yep. I see them, dude. We got new uniforms. The buildings the players have to pay for breakfast, and Buda Baker wants a trade.
Yeah.
But hey, we got new uniforms. Michael Bidwell made 2 pregnant women cry, but we got new uniforms. Let's go, dude.
I was gonna say the first thing that comes off in this offseason is this brand new thing where teams get report cards kind of thing. I'm the Buccaneers are sitting at 27th, and I'm like, duh, that makes sense. We're just a dog shit organization as well. But then all of a sudden I see the Cardinals are making them guys pay for their meals and stuff. And I was like
treating the families like shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh God, no, Chris, please.
Now wait, now hold up. Now there was a report that came out about every team's facilities and all the stuff around. And I think there was one F. Or 132nd ranked team.
Yeah, 31, bro. 31 right here. 31's right. Listen, we're the only team that we did better than was the one that had the government after them.
We're all taken for Bedard at this point.
Bro.
I like that comment here. Toronto Commanders. I like that. Razor down 6-3 in the top of the 8th. What is that final score right now? Do we have it? Because I got money on that game. I was like, Toronto's going to give them their first loss tonight. They were dog money, so I took it. We got that score. Oh. Money. Give me money. I love money. I like money. I like taking $10 and turning it into 300 in 24 hours. It's so nice.
Did you see Zach Ertz trying to curb that whole paying for meals thing?
No.
Yeah, he was trying to just somebody asked him about it the other day, and he was like, "Oh, I showed up here this morning and my breakfast was ready." And I guess he didn't say he didn't have to pay for it, but he insinuated it. So he's like, "So changes are happening." It's like, well, yeah, dude. Everybody in the world is like, you make your players pay for food.
Yeah, come on, dude. That shit's gotta
just
change.
Stopped doing that.
That's I got a quick baseball.
Literally every NFL fan collectively was just like, "Wait, what?" You make the players pay for food at the stadium.
The Blue Jays, after a while, it's been we're finally getting lounges at a baseball game where people can actually go hang out at this baseball game and enjoy themselves. It's oh, cool. And now that Corona Lounge place looks absolutely fantastic. Anytime I go to Toronto, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go watch the Blue Jays right there.
The problem with settings like that is you don't end up watching the fucking game. I sat in the low section twice this year for others games. I watched 5 minutes of the damn game.
Fair.
You're sitting there drinking and talking, and you see it feels like you're sitting in a restaurant, right? And there's a hockey game going on.
I'm just gonna say, me and Kim had a hotel like that, so we could walk. Which we took an Uber to the game. We were stoned.
So we could walk, but we took an Uber.
We took an Uber. We were stoned. And I was
about to say that's the next part. We were stoned.
We were watching the game though. We were sitting back and we were watching.
I just love that. Oh, you could walk, but we took an Uber.
No, we took an Uber, bro. So just quickly, I wanted to bring up the whole. I know we talked about it a little bit there, but the whole Buddha trade request there. Chris, just quickly, do you honestly think he's getting traded, or do you just think this is going to help him get his contract sooner?
I don't know what to believe. Byron Murphy grew up in Arizona, wanted to sign in Arizona, didn't. Zach Allen wanted to sign in Arizona, didn't. Buda Baker wants to stay in Arizona. Isn't? I don't know.
Okay? So honestly, though, like bias aside and just everything that we've seen and stuff, what's his trade value?
Jamal Adams. Like what they got for Jamal Adams.
Thank you. I would say there. Just a tad bit more.
I would say it starts there, though. It starts at the same package. Couple firsts.
Yeah. But now who's going to pay that, though? After seeing the package that someone traded for Jamal Adams, it's like, whoa. So, and I just say that respectively. Like, if I didn't have Antoine Winfield right now, I'd be like, fuck yeah. Or if it wasn't the fact that every single mock draft out there that doesn't have it, Darnell right to the
reality is if the Cardinals want to have anybody, so the Cardinals not only we have a quarterback with one leg right now, looks great, but he has one leg right now. He our team is basically rebuilding, for lack of a better word. And they raised season ticket prices by 20% going into the season after a losing season where we didn't make the playoffs and fired everybody.
Hey,
and then you're gonna say that you're gonna trade like literally the only reason that anybody's actually gonna come to a game.
Yeah.
You want to piss that guy off and
you
get
have
him out
a
of
Buda
here?
Baker jersey too, don't you?
I want a Buda Baker jersey.
You got an Isaiah Simmons one's on the way, eh?
Chris, if it makes you feel better, you're doing all the right things to get your own route, all right? just make it completely, just bottom out, man.
Dude,
it's okay.
Yeah, next year when you get and I'm just joking. I don't honestly.
So
think
just before this, I don't know if you guys saw at the beginning. So I started laughing, like while you guys were talking. I just started laughing here. I looked over at my screen and this chick, she's a reporter on Arizona sports radio. She tweeted out, she's like, the biggest rule of Arizona Cardinals fandom is it can always get worse.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
I
hell
thought
yeah,
that was
dude.
ours.
Hell yeah. No, you won a Super Bowl in the last 10 years.
But here's the thing.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Ours
you can't tell me.
First overall pick Buccaneer fans for 15 to 18 years. And then you get about 3 to 5 years of this nice little window.
That's our rule as they just came off a Super Bowl. Of course it can get worse. You just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It can absolutely get a lot worse.
Is that why
it can't get any fucking better than that.
Listen, when I won the Super Bowl, I didn't go into your DMs and was like, fuck you. I was just like, hey, bro, thanks for the compliments. This has been fun and stuff like that. Because you were the smart one. You'd be like, nah, I ain't testing Fulbert right now.
I ain't said shit. I ain't said
nothing. I ain't saying shit. It's like Alex when I came to work the day after that. I was like, fuck you. Oh, yeah, I went down that hallway. I was like, I'm bringing my flag, and I'm going to fly it as high as I can. Fucking here's one. Anyways.
But what I was gonna say is like so as much as Michael Bidwell might be a fucking piece of shit too, the difference between him and Dan Snyder is he actually kind of cares about the public opinion of him, I think. And right now he is getting absolutely cooked online. Like people are not happy, and
that's
you will not sell tickets if you guys get rid of Buda Baker.
Social media is now the way, man.
Ticket sales are already going to go down because the team's bad. And the 20% increase in season seat probably has something to do with that too. There's still fans that probably paid it. They weren't happy about it, but they paid it.
I would love.
And then you're like literally like getting rid of Buda Baker has been like that's like the final straw that broke the camel's back. You go on Twitter right now and go Arizona Cardinals. It is everything is on fire. Like prior to this, it was just like handful of people saying Kyler sucks and I hope DHop doesn't leave and whatever. Like we're all just kind of like blah. The season's gonna be dog shit. why haven't we signed anybody? But now it's just like, excuse me,
Right.
Buda Baker's leaving. Nah,
Chris,
bro.
I'm checking off the.
Yeah.
I mean, you're hitting everything.
Yeah.
Your owner's hitting.
You want your owner out?
Sales. Come on, man.
You
want to
Let
move
him
to
get a
Toronto?
sexual assault or
If
some kind of
Magic
allegation like
ends
that,
up
he's
not
gone.
buying the fucking Redskins, tell him to come to Arizona.
The Toronto.
I want homeboy that bought the Suns to just be like, hey man, I still got a little bit of money left. Like, I'll just take this too. I live here now anyway. The Suns are great. Like, the Suns are doing everything right. So it's just like, oh, well, maybe we, this guy that seems to understand what's happening and how to win, a sports game, maybe wants to buy the Cardinals. Just maybe has a little extra money left over after buying the Suns. Just a couple dollars.
Just a couple dollars.
I tweeted it this. I don't know if you saw this morning. I tweeted this morning. I was like, "How is it that?" Hold on, I'm going to read my tweet word for word because it was. I thought pretty good about it. I felt good about it. I was like, okay, the Coyotes literally play in a college barn named Mullet Arena.
Yep.
And the Cardinals are the biggest joke in Arizona.
Yep. Oh. Because it's getting bad, dude. It's getting bad. At least the Diamondbacks are something to watch, right? In Arizona, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Baseball in Arizona, fuck, that would be hot. So, I was just gonna say, I want the first game Kyler to come back next year to be in like week 7 or 8 because that's where I think the timeline is kind of sitting. But against the Dallas Cowboys, and you're there to watch that game. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's what I'm hoping for. The other thing that made me like I'm just dying about today was I'm just trying to find it here. Oh yeah, right here. Mossy Ottenfart on January 17th when he was hired. Buda Baker represents everything we want this organization to be. And then you shit on him 2 months later. You just pissed him off.
Yeah. They're just straight up like, nah, fuck this guy.
What the fuck, dude?
No.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh.
I don't even understand. Yeah, we want this guy to be the face of the organization. Actually, we're trading him.
We're gonna piss him off.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been 3 months. We don't really jive. He wants to win. I don't really.
We don't really jive.
So.
Don't really care.
I don't think we work
Fuck
here.
it. Yeah. He wants money. We only have $20 million in cap space. So we definitely. I think it's like $50 million. No, I don't know. No, $20 million in cap space. Yeah, we have $20 million. We only have $20 million in cap space, so we really can't afford to give you a raise. We didn't sign anybody, so we still have that whole $20 million left.
Okay.
So we can't afford, unfortunately, cap, it's crazy. You understand though, right, Buda?
Yeah, right? No, you totally get it, Buda.
6 cents on this terrible team. No problem, dude. And don't forget, breakfast is $7.
Oh.
All right, let's transition away from this. Stop pissing Chris off. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick commercial break, let the guys get a drink. Yeah, let my dog out kind of thing. And give you guys a chance to get ready for this next segment that we got coming, which is I'm sorry. First things foremost, I'm sorry. This is something that I created and I've wanted to create for quite a while and stuff like that. I'm just gonna do it and it's gonna stick. I can feel it. So we'll be right back. Couple commercials. Be back in about 4 minutes. We just gotta pay the bills here. So we'll be right back here at NSD. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to North Sports Dynasty. I am 1/5 of your host, Andrew Faber. To my left, or on your screen, your right, is Mr. Chris Warchuk, which is another quarter half, or 1/5, 2/10, whatever the fuck it is.
A quarter half.
Quarter half.
As a carpenter, that hurt my brain.
He is the Arizona Cardinals.
Half of a quarter being 8.
1/8, Dale Jr. Motherfucker. We also got below me, not below me, below me, Mr. Sean Spencer. Let's Talk Football's very own Washington Commander, Washington owner as well. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We are sponsored by, let me find the fucking, oh my goodness. There it is. We are proudly sponsored by ZAGNIF APPAREL. Everybody use the code word 15, get 15% off select items. Go to the Etsy.
I'm scared for you to turn your camera back on.
Oh, yeah,
right.
I'm already like hyped up.
You sound out of breath.
Right.
Go to Etsy, the code, the thing, the link, and all that kind of stuff. It's at the top. I'll drop it in there again when I have more time. Yes, use the code word. Check out all the apparel dudes. It's really awesome. And dudettes. Yeah, they got the shoes, the shirts, and everything like that. Check out. Go back, watch the commercial, ZAGNIFapparel.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that Chris had no part of this. Nobody wants to, take ownership for what's about to happen and stuff like that.
I don't even know what this was going on.
This is, whoa.
Oh, God. Oh, that was a cool frame. Oh, I'm doing this.
That's the way I wanted it. There we go. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do this as properly as I All right, let me just try this. All right, this is Dr. Dynasty Corner. Everybody, listen up. I'm Dr. Dynasty. I'm dizzy as fuck. Rush. Listen. NSD has hired me. This orange jumpsuit underneath has nothing to do with anything. Hired me to finally have some sort of content on this establishment for some sort of dynasty. Because we got idiots here at NSD, apparently, who don't see trade values as properly as they should. What are you fucking looking at? Don't look at me. Don't touch that either. Anyway, we got people here on a platform who don't accept proper trades, whose rankings are so fucking far-fetched you would think they're a Pokemon. I got people in this fucking establishment who send me trade offers of Patrick Mahomes for Kyler Murray. What kind of bullshit is that?
I agree.
Thank you. Now, excuse me. We here of this establishment, apparently I was told to call this an establishment, don't understand that there are 4 players in this draft. 4 players in this draft coming up who are literal superstars already and are like far and beyond anything we have ever seen. We got idiots like this Andrew fuck who think that last year's version of Breece Hall was just a subpar 3rd-round pick. We don't have to deal with him. Guess what, Andrew? His name isn't Isaiah fucking Spiller, you dumb ginger fuck. Excuse me. Now, we're going to talk about real players here for a dynasty. First things first. Bijan motherfucking, you know the drill. Everyone knows his name. It's Bijan Robinson. This guy is a 101 pick. In a redraft scenario, it doesn't matter where he goes and is drafted, he is going to be a 1st-round pick. There's a reason for it. The guy is a pass-catching god. He's a pass-catching god. He's the reason why Quinn Ewers, is that even how we say his name? Or have we just been joking and trolling this guy for like the last 5 fucking years? Guy was the first guy to ever make an NIL deal, and now is allowing girls who literally wear one-legged pants for LSU to start making like $1.3 million. So let's thank this guy with the grossest last name ever for the bullshit establishment that he has created of what is Texas. Excuse me. Now, I want to talk about what this guy can actually bring to your fantasy team. Dynasty purposes. If you got the first overall pick, aka Sid Swinton, you don't trade it. There's nothing out there that you should trade. If someone's going to be dumb enough and sit there and offer you like a Justin Jefferson and a Jonathan Taylor and a Jamar Chase all in one package, you would accept that. But we only know one fucking idiot that would be willing to send those kind of trades, don't we, Chris? Chris, hello? Hello? Is it? Hello? Is Chris there? Hello? Hi.
Hello? Hi.
Hello there. Don't you think? What do you now? Here's the question to you, Chris. Christopher. Anyway, Christopher. Anyway, Bijan Robinson in a super flex league, though, is he worth more than a quarterback? That's the real question.
No.
Is he worth more than Bryce Young?
No.
Is he worth more than a CJ Stroud?
No.
Is he worth more than a CJ or Anther, whatever
the answer is no.
No. Because in Superflex, the quarterbacks are where it comes. And that's where we talk about the next generational talents. Don't let the cops see that. I'm not who I'm supposed to be. How the fuck is this thing supposed to stay on? Oh, I like that look better. Can I just glue this on my head now? Anyways, number 2. Bryce Young. Everyone keeps talking about the fact that this guy was supposed to be number 1 and then he falls to the number 3 quarterback overall. Don't pay attention to what you see right now. And then all of a sudden, he goes back to number 1. Why? Because there was actual tests that come out. You don't look at dumbass situations in establishments like NSD mock drafts to learn about a player's real abilities, okay? You look to the real professionals out there who are at his pro day, who are at the conversations that coaches and GMs and these other dudes who are doing fuck all in the fucking Cardinals establishment. They are the people who are having these conversations with these players. One thing that we just found out the other day is Bryce Young is actually one of the smartest, literally big brain establishment here that is going to be going into the NFL. Yes, like the 5th or 6th ranked by the test that they give to these players. He's up there with Josh Allen. Josh Allen ranked high. He's up there with Tua Tagovailoa. Pre-fucking concussion era. You tell if Tua were to do that test right now, it would literally look like this. That's how bad his brain is now. Okay? Now, right now. Let's get right back to it. Bryce Young has the ability to scramble. Now, the other side also has the ability to run, but nobody sees it. Kind of like Justin Fields. Justin Fields in college was known to be a deep ball thrower, an Ohio State legend who can scramble for a couple yards here and there. But to be quoted better than Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick and all those guys, did anybody ever see that on tape? Not really. But you know what you see on tape with Bryce Young? When he wants to run, motherfucker's gonna run. So, Bryce Young, the first star that we talked about. The second, I'm going to put him in there. Why? Because he is going to be overshadowed. But there's something out there that we're all not seeing, and it's going to come out on draft night. And it's going to be something like, oh, he smokes the cannabis. Okay? What else does he do? He also drinks acid. Fuck out of here. What's the cannabis thing is the big thing? Who knows? It could be the fact that his mom is his agent. Everyone's tired of the Lamar Jackson situation. It could be the fact that he kicked a dog. Guys from Ohio State. It could be literally the reason that fucking scrum happened in the Michigan hallway there. We don't know. There is something. But the one thing that we all know is if you look at the film, there's one thing that keeps popping up. He is a number 1 quarterback, and there is going to be a team that just loves the transition of him coming in. There's nothing else that we need to talk about with CJ Stroud. The fact that he's falling off these draft boards, the fact that everybody is just done and no longer in love with him is absolute dog shit. You want to know why? It just means that someone like the Arizona Cardinals probably love him, or the Colts love him, or even the fucking Seahawks love him, or even the stupid Buccaneers love him. And someone wants to trade up, make a fucking pick for him, and this, that, and everything else, and everybody just wants to shit on his name. Draft season. This is what we do here. Speaking of what we do here, last but not least, we're going to have to watch. Jason Smith and Jigba. I did it right. Oh. All right, Jackson. The only time I'm doing it. Can't do any more of those. I'm going to fall over here. Now, this guy is literally a B version of Marvin Harrison Jr. We can talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. for days here about what this guy can bring to the NFL, but he doesn't get drafted until right now. We have to talk about the next best year, which is this freaking slender man looking motherfucker. Guy looks like he's 7'9" when he reaches for balls. Literally, and then he turns sideways, and it's like, oh, you can only put a 1 on his jersey. The guy is thin. The guy weighs 155 pounds soaking wet. And the only reason I know that is because I had to be in that freaking ice bath with him in order to get a fucking interview. I don't have to see it. Sorry. That being said, this guy is going to be a top 10 pick projected. Before your dynasty team, this is the PPR league, and you need a number 1 for the rest of your life. This guy, he is going to get injured once in his career. It happens to everybody. Everybody misses a season. It's just what happens. But if he ends up going to a proper team that can properly utilize him in a situation where they have even a half-brained coach and a half-brained quarterback, this guy is going to be a Hall of Famer. If he goes to the Tennessee Titans, there's your number 1 wide receiver of all time. If he goes to the Green Bay Packers, we're going to be talking about fucking Jordy Nelson. Who? If he goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Evans wouldn't even be sniffing the Hall of Fame, for crying out loud. Yes, Chris, there it is. Clip it, post it, do what you want. The Andrew fuck that you guys here at NSC is an idiot. Fucking idiot, man. This Mike Evans take that he has is just absolute dog shit. Jason Smith and Jigba would literally walk circles around him and fucking put Jameis Winston back in that situation. And he would be better. Fucking crazy. Why do you guys even have this ginger running your guys' show? You're listening to the Steelers fan, for crying out loud. At least he looks better. The only fucking decent looking one that we all have here at NSD. Where's my beer? Did you get Thompson? I got this. Don't worry about it. I got that. Anyway, last but not least, the last thing we wanted to talk about here before we transition it over to some people who actually kind of know what they're talking about with the rest of them. I only know Dynasty. That's why I'm the talker. Now, I go with the orange. I'm not supposed to see the orange, because if you can see the orange, then they can actually call 911 and have reasons. So we don't want to. The last thing we need to talk about is there's the wild card. Michael Mayer, the tight end. Last year, we had a tight end, and he went to Arizona. But because Arizona does not run the type of system that we all thought, he is not the tight end.
No. He couldn't catch a fucking cold with his.
This is also that. But Michael Mayer, as long as he goes to the proper situation, is going to flourish like a Travis Kelce. But he has to go to the proper situation. So just wait for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to go. And this Andrew guy has been sitting here holding his wife fucking scared as hell. So we'll be right back in about like 10 seconds when we can transition this over without having any issues. So everybody, check out this intro that one of the other guys here did. He's from Let's Talk Football. Welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I'm your host, Andrew Flaubert. Is he gone? Like, fuck, I don't care. Hit him with something. I gotta finish this up. I'm your host, Andrew Flaubert. I did not think that was going to go that way. He was Alex's friend, actually. Alex had this brilliant idea of hiring this guy to come in and talk a little bit more Dynasty. So I'm going to have to give Alex a little bit of shit for how that went. Bit of a shit show here. I heard my name dropped a few times. Apparently this guy and Chris are going to get along when fucking Mike Evans takes some shit. Thanks, guys. Welcome back. I'm joined with Chris and Sean Spencer. We're here at the end of the show. It's Friday night. We're just
just kept dipping. I was like, oh, that was great.
Someone's gonna go. We're just having a great old time here. It's Friday, episode 37 of NSD. We've talked about basically everything except for the NSD stand by it stuff. I wanted to get this out there so everybody knew exactly what is going on. We kept talking about it. We kept, joking about what we're going to be doing. I actually wrote up a thing here, so it's down there. It's an NSD exclusive segment that allows us, the hosts, and you, the fans, a chance to hold someone accountable for what they say. It'd be like a tape, So how do you participate? You can tune into the NSD shows weekly, whether it's, the Terribly Toxic show, this show that happens on Fridays, the Off the Boards, the Restoring the Roar, all the other shit that we got going on. Anything that they say. If you don't like what they say about something, you can hashtag NSD stand by it. So Chris and Sid are, talking blah, 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 blah. And Sid says, dude, Kyler's not going to last past, trade deadline or whatever, right? And Chris is like, you gonna NSD stand by that? You're gonna really stand by that? And if Sid goes, you know what? Yeah, I think he's getting traded at the deadline. Virtual agreement happens right there, and then all of a sudden we wait until the end of the season. And if Kyler inevitably again is not traded at the deadline, because I don't think it's gonna happen, then the punishment will fall on Sid. And then what happens is there's an episode at the end of the year. And there is the NSD pot of punishments where all the hosts are coming up with our own punishments, unique punishments. We all have 10 that we have to come up with of our own. And then we're all going to vote on them and be like, okay, that one's cool. We're putting that one in. Okay, that one, yeah, put that one in, blah, 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 blah. But understand, there's a couple of nice ones that we'll have in there just as like a random one. But these are going to be like, you might have to shave all facial hair. So if all of a sudden I say something and I get that, I'm kind of fucked, right? Wrong. You got 3 lifelines. 3 lifelines that are out there. We will figure out as this is still growing into something big than what we want it to be. These lifelines, though, will allow you to be like, I'm a Mormon. I cannot allow this to happen to my beard. You know what I mean? So you have a lifeline. But then all of a sudden, if that lifeline doesn't, if you have to still put that thing back in the pot and then you redraw it and you draw it out again, well, then you're gonna have to take it. But then if you use the lifeline where you can pull it out for the time being, then you're back in, blah, 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 and you can pick another one. And we got a few cool, like I said, we'll have a couple of like nice ones in there, like all the NSD hosts have to pay for you and your wife to have a romantic dinner or something like that. We've just tossed out a couple of random ideas, but the punishments ones though is really what it's all about. Is a lot of people on a lot of different shows, not saying Sean or anything like that. We ain't this guy or me. It's me. I say a lot of stupid shit. So a lot of things that thing is now going to be like with the ears of the fans and be like, you sure you actually mean that? Okay, no. And the big time that it's going to happen is when obviously the schedule drop happens. And then 2 weeks later, we have our show and we do our predictions of what's going to happen for the season. And then if I put Arizona Cardinals will be 2-15, Chris is going to be like, you're standing by that, aren't you? And I'm going to be like, yep. And inevitably when they win 3 games, I'll have to shave my beard. And that would be the worst fucking time of my entire life. I would hate that. So, NSD. What?
3 games is a lot.
Your team will still win 4 or 5, dude. You're in the first. Don't you have Colt McCoy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. be Colt McCoy. Texas Wonder.
No, we gotta play Trace McSorley. Every Cardinals fan he was the future.
Trace
McSorley. I got told last year by multiple Cardinals fans on Twitter, this guy's the future. We need to play him. I'm like, what?
I remember that.
What are we talking about here?
He's from my area. He lives like 15. His family lives like 15, 20 minutes from here.
Well, tell his family that he's terrible.
Yeah, they weren't too high on him here, so I was like, I don't know how he got to Penn State, and then he went back to Baltimore. I was like, oh.
See, I don't know if I could ever deal with like my son going into football and having to deal with some of that crap. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Especially here's
like,
the other.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't cut you off.
No, go ahead.
So like Matt Benning's from St. Albert, right?
Yep.
And like I hated Matt Benning.
And for anybody out there, this is just a pre-Oiler guy that was on one of the worst squads of the Oilers I've seen in a long time.
Matt Benning was terrible. He
Absolutely
still is terrible.
Him and Costin were.
So he plays for the Sharks now. Did you know that? I didn't even fucking know that. Yep. So I was at the Sharks game a couple weeks ago, and I seen this motherfucker in a Benning Sharks jersey. It's like, my buddy's like, it's got to be his dad. That has to be his dad. There's nobody on the planet who paid money for a Matt Benning San Jose Sharks jersey. Nobody paid money for this jersey. That has to be his dad. Like, there's no way. Nobody bought that jersey. I promise you. He's a third pair defenseman on like the 5th worst team in hockey. Like, there's no shot. Somebody was like, I really want in Edmonton to own a San Jose Sharks Matt Benning jersey, and I'm going to pay $350 for it. Gladly. So we're laughing. I'm like, no way, dude. This guy's, and I'm like, this guy's fucking terrible. He's sitting like 6 rows in front of us. It's like, Matt Benning fucking sucks. This is a great game to be on. I didn't even know he played for the Sharks, but I get to chirp him again. Get back to my roots.
Very typical diehard.
No. Listen, I hated him. He was so bad. And then I was at a game. This is back when Matt Benning still played for the Oilers. I was at a game. I'm sitting row 3 in the corner, like right behind the Oilers net. It was beautiful, beautiful seats. My buddies texting me. We're talking about Matt Benning. I'm like, man, this guy's fucking dog shit, dude. Like, I can't stand him. I'm literally yelling at him the whole game from my seats. I'm like, I can't stand him. My buddies telling me, like, he's not that bad. I'm like, dude, he is that bad. Literally, I looked up from my phone.
Yeah.
He's standing directly in front of me with the puck and just throws this like errant pass up the middle. The best player on the Philadelphia Flyers grabs this like nothing pass, comes out on a breakaway and scores right in front of me. And I tell somebody, I'm like, did you see that? Because I saw that. It was 6 feet in front of me. I saw the whole thing, and it was all his fucking fault. I'm like, he's terrible. I'm like I'm just losing. I'm like, he's fucking dog shit. It was. I couldn't have wrote it better than that. I was just like, he's terrible. Looked up. I'm like, oh look, evidence of him being terrible. Right. See, like and this is stupid fuck.
This is me like 3 or 4 years ago. Red Wings like. Tanking when all the good players from back in the day started becoming like really bad and overpaid. I was like, okay, I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. Now I'm just like, it is what it is. I know that we're going to need a few years.
Oh, and now it's super fun with Puljujärvi because he's like, I guess now he said like he was asked or he told somebody that he wasn't feeling a warm welcome from the Carolina fans, and now he's all bitchy there too. And it's like, have you ever considered the fact that you're not good at hockey? Have you considered that you might be terrible? And it's not the city or the team or the fans' fucking fault that you're terrible at this game.
If Willie fucking Nylander will go into the corner.
Bro, this whole did you see this thing about his English classes?
Yes.
So homeboy's from Finland, Sean.
Okay.
So he like got here, didn't speak a lick English, like barely, like super broken. Like seems like a nice kid, but like super broken English. The Oilers paid for and set up English lessons for him. They're like, you're gonna play in North America, you need to fucking speak English. This is what we speak here. So we've set up. We brought this guy in. He's gonna teach you English. You work with him. Like obviously not gonna happen overnight, but you work with him. You get better at English at least. He skipped his English classes, and then was like, the team hates me. It's like, bro, you can't talk to anybody on the team. You can't speak English, dude. Like how you? They told you were playing on the third line, and you were just like, what? And then you were surprised that you got no minutes because you didn't understand what the third line fucking meant.
At least you don't have the situation that Montreal will always have, where it's like our captain has to speak French, and now Nick Suzuki is like, I'm learning it. Don't worry, guys.
But that's no. There's nothing wrong with that. Like they don't.
No, there's not.
And it's not. I don't think it's as bad. That's not as bad as people say it is. Like it's not like you have to speak French. They just like if you try to speak French.
Yep.
That's the language. But again, that's the language they speak there.
Yep.
So you learn the language.
You imagine if
I'm not gonna go. I'm not trying to go play or work in fucking Sweden and be like, hey, you guys need to just relax. I can't understand you. So we need to figure this out. You guys need to learn
television
English.
does though.
They don't like me. They don't like me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying.
I'm not trying to learn Swedish. It's like, well, then don't go work in fucking Sweden, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's how. To me, that's how it is. It's like it's part of your job.
Simple, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, he's all jacked up because the Oilers are inevitably going to be on their cup run here pretty soon. Kim woke up today, like I said, she was like, who am I playing? And I was just like, not the Kraken. She goes, oh, thank fucking God. Because I'm Kraken. I'm just Kraken.
The road comes through here, buddy.
Yep. And believe me, even like I said, Kraken are a brand new team. I'm Red Wings all the way.
I said it on Thursday on the show. I will collapse to my knees if the Oilers win the Stanley Cup. Like I will, wherever I am, at a bar, downtown, at my house, in some kitchen, I don't care. I will immediately collapse.
Nope. No different than when
probably cry and just.
Yeah. But I couldn't even help it. There was
like,
not
I don't know, Sean. Do you know much about hockey?
I know Ovi's going.
We've been terrible. We're the Cleveland Browns. We've been terrible for a long fucking time. Not that bad. Okay. We're not that bad. But like multiple first overall picks and still missing playoffs, losing seasons.
No, like I would say the Miami Dolphins, where like they were really good back in the day and then fell off a cliff for a while.
And then and then it's like, oh, we had one really good year, and then it's like, psh, and then it's like, oh, and then like it just and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and then like the last 3 years it's been like we made the playoffs and lost, and it's like we made the playoffs, made it to the third round out of 4, lost. It's just like we're actually taking those steps, and then this year we like traded for players. And like now we're going into playoffs. We're like 16-2-1 in the last fucking 15 and whatever that math works out to games. We're hot. We actually have goaltending for the first time in fucking 10 years. We have goaltending. It's just like everything's just coming together. It's like this team. We actually can win the cup. Like it's like previously we're like, oh, we're gonna win the cup, and we're like, there's a lot of holes on this team. We don't have a goalie. The defense, like, how much can Connor McDavid really do, right? And then it's like now it's like we have defense. We have the goaltending. McDavid's really good. Dreisaitl's really good. Nuge is really good. Nobody's injured. Yep. Like we don't have any major injuries.
You traded for depth. It's just like Husted is a fucking beaut.
Like, is this the Infinity Gauntlet? Goaltending, defense, McDavid, Draisaitl, no injuries, a half decent coach.
If for some odd reason it's not, you just know that next year they're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna have to like go after a
I'm snapping. Is it working? Is this working? That's how I feel right now. I'm just like, I literally, it didn't hit me until probably a week ago. I was like, we were watching the game, me and my roommate, and I was just like, we actually could win the cup.
You can't.
Like the reality set in. I was like, we can.
You're the team.
We can do this.
Like Boston is still good, but Boston the last few games has showed where the holes are on that team. Even like the thing is after a major trade, when you get Ekholm and you get Bustad and you actually like give extensions to the players and stuff like that, usually what happens is just a little bit of a downfall after the trade deadline, and then it usually picks up playoff. It doesn't continue like that.
We went straight up. We went like this
and
from
then
the trade
other
deadline.
Side of it, one of those losses I was live at, like, and it was against the Golden Knights, and even though the Oilers never had a lead, I even told Kim, and she knew too. She was like, the Oilers are going to...
Wasn't that a Jack Campbell start?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
believe
Jack Campbell starts don't count anymore. That's how we look at things now. Jack Campbell goaltending starts do not count. Stuart Skinner is the guy. We're riding that mustache.
And ever since Kim heard the quote for her Golden Knights where she's like...
He's got the deadliest fucking stash in the league. Buddy.
Oh, Skinner?
Dude, he's so clean. It's so clean. It's just it's thick and it's there. He's got a little turn.
It's going to look good.
It's so prime.
Listen, everyone knows I'm not an Oilers fan, but it's going to look so cool when he probably wins the Conn Smythe Trophy with that big fucking.
You know what I can't wait for, Andrew. You know what I can't wait for. I said this to my buddy the other day. I was like, I can't wait for for next year at any point in time when somebody's shitting on Darnell Nurse, and I'm just gonna look at them and be like, call him by his actual name. Yeah. 2023 Stanley Cup champion Darnell Nurse.
I was gonna say
use his full name.
Hockey show, who literally wanted to start up the hockey show so he can shit on Darnell Nurse, which is absolutely hilarious.
And then in the first hockey show, I convinced him that Nurse isn't terrible.
Yeah, even I was sitting there.
Listen, Kyle's got 3 brain cells, and if you can fucking get them to all work together at the same time, he actually can fathom a decent idea. You just got to get all 3 working together, and you got to I had all the crayons out, puppets, I had it all. I was like, listen, buddy, look over here, look over here. He's not that bad. He plays 1,000 minutes a year, so he gets shit on because he's the only one on the ice doing anything. If we can get another one of him, then he doesn't have to play all that time, and then there's 2 people doing all the work, and it's not just one, and all of a sudden he doesn't look that bad because they're both pretty good.
And then
they traded for Ekholm, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Nurse isn't terrible. It's like, well, I kind of told you he wasn't terrible.
Before we go, I did what as a lot of people said too, where they're like, oh, the Erik Karlsson thing would just make sense. I want a guy. I'm like, listen, Ekholm was the right one at the end of the day.
Ekholm was the one we needed. It's not the one we knew we needed.
Exactly.
We didn't know we need him, but he's perfect.
Yep.
He's perfect in every way, shape, and form. And I'm also very happy he's under contract for 1 more year after this. That's a huge bonus. Retained salary, and he's under contract for 1 more year.
Did they retain it for next year too?
I thought so. I could be wrong.
I'll have to double check, but even for this year.
I don't even care. We have him for another. So we have this year and next year with probably a very similar group as we have right now. It's glorious.
Yeah. If you want to hear more about the Oilers, right at the top, right there is the only one I have. I think right. No, where is it? Right there. There we go. Off the Boards Hockey Show. Kyle and Chris do that. Basically talking Oilers all the time. They will have some other guests. I've actually been working on possibly getting them a guest who just so happens to be a relative of my fiance. So hopefully we will get Tyson Jost on the show for you guys here pretty soon. I'm working on it. So like I said, when I know Chris wasn't there, but when I was doing the NSD staff meeting, and I was like, listen, I'm doing things, I'm trying things, I'm gonna get some shit rolling here. One of them is I'm gonna try and get some fucking hockey players on. I was like, let's do this. So Sean Spencer, as always, thank you for being a part of the show. He is the man of Let's Talk Football. Tell us a little bit about Let's Talk Football before we get out of here, my guy.
I, as I always say, am one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. Myself and the creator, Janae Struther, who is living her best life as a new mother, taking care of her newborn, and her baby's getting bigger every day. So we will not be doing anything as far as me and her until the fall. One of the things we really got going on right now is Washington Football Weekly, where obviously we're about to throw a party next Wednesday. And then we have Let's Talk College Football. That is tomorrow. We are focusing on the draft prospects. So tomorrow we'll focus on linebackers. And then on the last Saturday, right before the draft, we're going to be talking about secondary, cornerbacks, safeties, things of that nature. So tune in for that. And, hey, just wherever I'm everywhere there's one of these guys on here, I'm in the comments. I'm somewhere. Yeah.
I was going to say, if there is a sports show on, Sean Spencer is not that far away. By the way, I'm pretty sure Alex is out drinking at our old reunion party for our work. So give him, give them hard ass questions in the morning.
Yeah.
Make them wake up.
Right.
Be like, dude, 6 o'clock in the morning, like message them. Be like, bro, I got things. You got to get over here.
Bright and early. New segment. Let's go.
They'd be like, what is even happening? What the hell? So, as always, thank you, Chris, for being here. NSD analyst for the Arizona Cardinals. He also does terribly. Oh, no, that's the wrong. There we go. Terribly Toxic. That you can see. It's on Sundays at 6. Right, Chris? Okay, it's 10.
The day might change again.
Oh, okay.
Because listen, Sid getting a job is just very.
I know.
I got in the way from what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Right?
No, so like his new job, his new job's great, but like originally he was like fucking doing card breaks for the shop until like 9 o'clock at night, like every night, and now he gets off early on Wednesdays.
Oh,
and
okay.
so we might go back to Wednesdays, but we might stick with Sundays. But I don't fucking know. And I believe we are going on this Sunday though.
Okay.
And then this Sunday I had it at 6. No, yeah, 6.
Okay.
6 Mountain.
And of course, I'm going live tomorrow for the start of the Maple Buck Show all over again. So all the Buccaneer fans who have inevitably waiting for my take on it, tomorrow's the night. You finally get to pick my brain on what I actually think is going on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I've been keeping this all wrapped because I adore you to him. Listen, in 24 hours, we can have this conversation, okay? Just tune in tomorrow. See exactly how happy I am about Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we'll see what's going on. As I was teasing, is it a redraft? Or is it a rebuild? A retool? No, it's a replan. And we'll talk about exactly what the hell that means tomorrow. From myself, the rest of the fans, rest of the host, obviously Sid's not here, Kyle's not here, Alex isn't here. They give out their love to everybody else. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next Friday for Mock Draft 3.0 to give you an idea of what everybody else is thinking before we get into competition mode and give you a general idea of what NSD is going to be doing going forward for the draft, which we got us two right here. We're going to be doing draft coverage all day on draft night. And then probably second day, everybody might pop up on the NSD show or whatever the fuck. And then Saturday, rounds 4 and 7 or no, I don't know. We'll fucking see.
No one gives a fuck about day 3.
Listen,
let's call it what
man.
it is. Yeah. No one gives a fuck about it.
For
We
Mr.
pay
Relevant.
attention, but like nobody's like canceling their day to
Not
watch
round
day
4 or
3.
7.
Day 1
Which
and
kicker's gonna
2,
get picked
you
up?
like rush home from work and you're like, let's go, dude. Like get the pizza, get the beers. Like round 1 and 2 is where the guys are, and then day 3 is where like the flyers are that people want. Like don't know that are good, but it's just like nobody's sitting down to watch fucking day 3, man.
The only thing I'm doing on day 3 is I'm literally sitting there. My whole big board is going to be all the offensive players and stuff like that that are coming
This
out
is
of the
me on
draft.
day
where
3.
they
Oh,
are.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sweet. Yeah,
Like,
real cool. As
all
I'm
the-
like hitting the golf ball.
Golf ball.
Oh, yeah, cool. The Cardinals took an undersized middle linebacker.
I was just going to say, here comes the linebacker
Yeah,
chair.
perfect. That's what
All
we
right.
need. Well, actually, now we need an undersized safety because we got rid of Tyrann Mathieu. Now we're getting rid of Budda Baker. We need a new undersized safety to love and then eventually get rid of.
I got to cut this off before the rest of Friday night for Chris is really like depressing because I don't want him getting Cardinal rant again.
No, listen, I just saw somebody post, there's a picture of Tyrann Mathieu and Patrick Peterson, and then beside it was a picture of Budda Baker and Byron Murphy, and it was like, when will we learn? And I was like, fucking never, dude. We just like, I'm bitter about Tyrann Mathieu because we let him go for literally nothing. And because Steve Wilkes was like, I don't need a high price safety. It's like, bro, but you don't need one, but they're nice to have.
They're very nice to
Like
have.
it's nice to have it, I don't need, $100 million, but I'd love to have it.
But that's why I drafted Isaiah Simmons. Like, no.
No, Steve Wilkes didn't draft Isaiah Simmons.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, that was a couple years later.
Let's get out of here. All right. From ours to yours, much love from NSD. I'll talk to y'all later.
Peace.
Bye.